They come from all across the world. 100 challengers, 4 stages, 1 goal, to become the next champion. This is Ninja Warrior of Halo! Hello guys, I'm HuntUnit751 and welcome to Ninja Warrior of Halo. In the last tournament we saw All-Star and host of Halo Ninja Warrior, Smoky Massacre, make history by becoming only the second ever competitor to go all the way, completing all 4 stages to achieve total victory and to become a Grand Champion. His success has meant that for this tournament, the entire 4-stage obstacle course has been completely redesigned, with everything new and more difficult. It is truly the next generation of the course, and it's shown so far. In the first episode, we saw 25 challengers take on the course, and not a single one of them made it past the 3rd obstacle, the pole maze, with newcomer Bender 300 so far putting on the best effort. And I say best in the loosest sense of the word. With such a poor effort so far, how will our next 25 challengers fare? Do any of them have what it takes to break new ground and be the first to complete this stage? Let's head back to the start line to find out. Stepping up first on the start line today is newcomer Chris and Chips, with one of the funniest gamer tags that I've seen in a while. He has 110 seconds to complete 9 obstacles, the first being the rope slider. Slide down the chute, land on the platform and make it like that. He then heads up. Well, when he gets up there, he will head to the second obstacle, the ball drop. Get on the ball and survive the 2 massive drops and jump off on the other side. And he's doing very well at the minute, lands on the stopper, but that's absolutely fine. And he's onto the pole maze. Nobody has got past this obstacle so far. Can he do it? You got to go up the... Oh, he's into the head slide! No! Oh! He was so close there. That was almost a fantastic start. But sadly, he didn't have a high enough reach and fell out the side of it. Next up we have AnEpikReshiram, a big fan of the show, making his debut. 110 seconds, 9 obstacles, and no, he's out on the rope slider! Oh, that's disappointing for the big fan. Bad luck to him. Well, next up we have a returning competitor, Ninja Guy 9000, the first returning competitor since Walking, who was the first competitor to go in the first episode. As you saw there, Ninja Guy competed in the last tournament but failed the rolling ball. He's over the rope slider, which means now he will take on the obstacle that replaced the rolling ball, the ball drop. This obstacle is arguably even harder than the rolling ball, so what chance does he have? Let's find out. He gets onto the ball. He's being a bit cautious. Smacks the ball. Oh, he's got it rolling very fast. Can he hang on here? He's over the first drop. No, he can't hang on. 2 appearances, and he goes out on the ball obstacle both times. Well, one of the things I love about Ninja Warrior of Halo, and Sasuke in general, is that we get competitors from all over the world compete. And this guy is a great example. This is Resident Kong 121, joining us all the way from sunny Australia. And this guy was one of the record 22 competitors that completed stage 1 in the last tournament. He went out on the metal spin, but he was very impressive considering it was his debut, completing the first stage. And he's of course our first veteran to return for this tournament. Didn't do well on the trials course, which is why he's got such a low number, but he's confident of doing well on the big course. And he's through the first 2 obstacles very confidently. Can he do the pole maze though? No, he can't! Oh, even a stage 2 finalist from the last tournament can't beat this obstacle. Oh, that is shocking. Well, now our next competitor is waiting at the start line. Next up on the course is PixelProjects, back today for his 6th appearance on the course. Pixel has been competing since the first Halo 4 tournament back in Tournament 10, when he used to be known as Halo Legends 6. Sadly though, his jumping career on this course did not get off to the best of starts, as he failed the first obstacle in both of his first 2 appearances. But following a change of gamer tag to Cork Toaster 5 prior to Tournament 14, he suddenly did very well, getting all the way to the jump hang in Tournament 14, and then in Tournament 15 he produced a personal best when he made it to the warped wall. He changed his gamer tag again to PixelProjects prior to Tournament 16, but sadly failed the jump hang once again. Nevertheless, Pixel's dedication and constant practice for each of these tournaments has made him stand out as a competitor. The question is, will all that practice pay off, and will he be able to complete the first stage for the first time ever in this tournament? PixelProjects, a big fan of the course and a big supporter of the show. How will he fare on this new course? 110 seconds, 9 obstacles as he heads down the rope slider. And he avoids a humiliating exit on the first obstacle, and he's flying to the second obstacle. This is a sign of a competitor that knows what he's doing, that's put the practice in, or has been on the course before, if they can just fly quickly to the obstacles. It's looking good on the ball drop, and he's through that one nicely as well. Now, what about the pole maze? This is the moment of truth. No, Pixel! Oh my goodness, even Pixel fails this obstacle. That is shocking. And take a look at the replay here. It looked like a good jump, but maybe it was too good of a jump. If you jump too late, then you are at risk of sliding up the pole and then sliding over the other side. And that's exactly what happened to Pixel. Oh, truly shocking. 30 competitors now, and nobody's got past the third obstacle. How will newcomer Maniac do? He's a maniac, and he's dead. Bye-bye. Next up, we have another newcomer waiting at the start line. There's me. I'm in the video. Lukinator 1122. That gamer tag seems familiar for some reason. Can't think why. But he's got 110 seconds, and off he goes. And he's beaten the rope slider nicely. Oh, heading quickly up to the ball drop. Jesus, he almost fell off the side of the course. That would have been very funny, to be honest. Terrible for him, but very funny for the rest of us. Onto the ball drop. Going onto it, going for a crouch technique. That does work for some people. He's over the first drop. Not the second drop. It doesn't work for him, though. And he's out. Our next competitor waiting at the start line is about to reach a landmark moment on this course. Next up is IronBugChampion, who is today making his landmark 10th appearance on Ninja Warrior of Halo. He made his debut all the way back in Tournament 8 on the Halo Reach course and has competed in every tournament since. Although he's never completed the first stage and he's had very mixed results, from failing the first obstacle 3 times to getting all the way to the 6th obstacle in Tournament 14, one thing you are guaranteed from IronBug is that he will give his all. On every single one of his runs, he will put everything into it, and if he fails, well, then he just wasn't good enough on the day. He always puts in 100%, but will that heart and desire be enough to see him through this first stage, or will he be defeated as well? What a historic moment for IronBugChampion. 10 appearances on this course. How will the Welshman do? And the timer started a bit late there, but hopefully that's not an issue. Probably nobody noticed until I mentioned it just then, but oh well. Anyway, he's through the rope slider already. How will he fare? I'd love to see IronBug do well on his 10th appearance. Some competitors haven't actually done all that well on their landmark 10th appearance. Elite MKB is a good example I'm thinking of here. But IronBug is through the ball drop nicely. Now for the pole maze. Can he do it? He jumps into it. He gets a jump into the head slide. Oh, and he's up! He's up! IronBugChampion! He's going to be the first competitor to complete the pole maze at last. We now see obstacle 4, the jumping spider. Got to hit the trampoline and get inside the spider, and he's done that as well. Oh my goodness. IronBugChampion, the experienced competitor, he is putting everyone to shame right now. He's going very well, heading through the spider between the windows. And he's through, and he's onto the checkerboard. Another new obstacle. You got to walk through this pathway without falling through one of the gaps, which the shields are going to try and force you through. And he's through that as well. With 35 seconds left on the clock, he hits the Great Wall. This is the new version of the warped wall. Got to go up the wall and try and grab that turret at the top. Oh, he was close there. IronBug, this is the joint best performance he's ever put on this course, getting to the 6th obstacle. He's never attempted a warped wall style obstacle before. This is unbelievable, but he's doing pretty bad right now, to be honest. I'm so happy for him, but actually he's about to fail. The klaxon sounds, and he's not even close to getting up this Great Wall. He's pretty much given up now. 1, 0, and time is up for IronBug, but what a performance. He may have failed, but he has put on the best performance by a country mile so far. No other competitor has got close to making it this far so far in the tournament. Great effort by IronBug on his 10th appearance, and it's his joint best performance in terms of getting to the 6th obstacle again, but arguably this is his best ever performance on the course. Well done to IronBug. He can hold his head high here. And next up we have something I never thought I'd see, a newcomer being carried to the course by Grand Champion Smokey Massacre. This guy must have bribed Smokey for this. This is newcomer Paddy Freakin. Bit of a scrub, but let's see if he can live up to that intro. In all seriousness, Paddy has actually become a well-known name in the jumping community and is hoping to do big things on his debut on this course. And he's flying to the ball drop. Jesus Christ, Paddy! You almost jumped over the ball. That would have been pretty bad. He's clearly a man in a hurry, but will that speed prove to be his downfall? He's going through the ball drop very quickly, but he handles it nicely. And now he's onto the pole maze. We just saw IronBug do it, so we know it can be done. And Paddy makes it look even better. Wow, nobody cleared for ages, and then we get 2 at once. What about the jumping spider? He lines himself up, he goes for it, he hits the trampoline nicely. Oh, nobody goes over the landing column. Oh, he was going too fast there. That is surprising. Let's take a look at a replay. You can see here, he crouched and ended up flying right over the columns. Well, Paddy had high aspirations for completing the first stage here with the practice that he put in, and he didn't think the jumping spider would be a problem. But ironically, it has proven to be just that, and Paddy Freakin becomes the first ever competitor to fail the jumping spider. Well, following Paddy's failure, more competitors were able to do well getting to the jumping spider, but all of them were unable to get past it. King Knight got into the spider, but then fell, whilst Crawford 2K15 failed the jump into it. The technique is very precise to get into the spider there. Other competitors, though, were failing left, right and centre on the obstacles prior to the jumping spider, as we have seen so far in the tournament. Beast Pro going out on the ball drop, as did Insane Goddess, another one of our very few female competitors to compete on this course. I think she actually hit the pole on the side there, which knocked her off the ball. Just Call Me Trap fell into the trap that is the pole maze. Blitz Void, who is, I believe, a big fan of Spitefalls, I've seen him in his custom games before, also failed the jumping spider the same way Paddy did, got too good of a jump, and then his friend BlitzCluster couldn't even get past the first obstacle. We then had ImDahUnicorn, another great gamer tag, tried to go for speed on the jumping spider, but he jumped too early and missed the landing platform. Finally, we had NinjaTawn, who had ninja in his name, so had a lot to live up to, but he also couldn't get past the jumping spider. He actually didn't even hit the trampoline, and he made the jump somehow, and then failed an even easier jump after it. Well, next up on the course, we have another returning competitor, and this one is, as we used to call him on the 360, he is a member of the Derp group. This is Danny Boy, back for his 7th appearance, and drawing a nice little smiley face there. Now, the Derps are a group of competitors on this course that I consider to be no-hopers, really. They have no chance of ever completing stage 1, and they normally put in funny failures. Danny Boy actually had a very unique intro back on the 360 that unfortunately he can't do anymore. And he's celebrating wildly because he very rarely completes the first obstacle. Did he just do that jump backwards? I think he's been putting in a bit of practice, to be honest. Yeah, Danny Boy had a very poor record on this course of not getting past the first obstacle, but that's actually the third tournament in a row now he's beaten the first obstacle. Maybe he's... oh, God, that was bad. Okay, right, there's the bad fail. Danny Boy's out. I was going to say he's trying to get rid of this reputation as a derp, but yeah, that fail changed all that. He's still a derp. Next up, we have Error5577. A friend of AlexJ189 who competed back in tournament 14. He failed the second obstacle then. Can he beat the second obstacle today? He's also friends of Sergeant Slaphead, who we saw in the first episode, and as I say, of Alex, who we're going to be seeing later. He's getting onto the ball drop. Oh, it's going pretty fast, but he's hanging on nicely and he beats it. Nice. Puts a personal best on. A personal best performance, that is. Well, what about the pole maze? Doesn't get it the first time, but manages to survive. Oh, he gets a jump and he actually misses the head slide. Oh, that's a new way to fail the pole maze. Let's take a look at a replay here. He missed the jump to begin with, didn't have enough forward momentum, but then he got too much forward momentum, and in fact, he ended up not jumping up. He jumped off the pole and swan dived into the water. 5 competitors left to go now. Next up, we have another returning competitor, HaloxFan, who's also a regular member of iSpiteful's custom game lobbies back on the 360. And as you can see there in the bottom of the screen, he had one of the most bizarre runs in the last tournament. Bumpé Shiratoring the jump hang and somehow landing in the underneath section, and then somehow failing the loop-de-loop getting into it. If you haven't seen it, I'd recommend going back and watching that fail in Tournament 16 because it is very funny. But how will he fare on this brand new course? It's always interesting for not just returning competitors or veterans, just any competitor really that's competed in the previous tournament, just to see how they will do in comparison to their performance in the last tournament, to see how they'll fare on a completely different course. But HaloxFan's doing pretty well at the moment, 70 seconds left on the clock, as he hits the jumping spider. He managed to do the jump hang in the last tournament, but the jumping spider is arguably the new replacement, and he gets a horrible jump and doesn't even come close to making it. HaloxFan is out. Lagging his way to the start line is DarkWall52336167, formerly known as Car Crazy Scott, who has competed in the last 2 tournaments, I believe? Both times going out on the rolling ball. So, how will he fare? He's got a lot of lag. He landed on that platform about 5 times there. Didn't fail, though. Oh, he's struggling at the minute. It's always difficult for a competitor when they're lagging, and sometimes you can't tell whether it's if they're actually lagging or if it just looks like they're lagging on the screen, but I think this falls into the category of he is definitely lagging. So what chance does he have on this ball drop? Well, he's doing well at the minute. Over the first drop, over the second drop, he's not even on the ball. That's unnatural, but he's actually done it. Well, come on. He will have done it. Get off! Come on! Okay, he's done it. And he's onto the pole maze. This is a personal best for Scott as well. I can't call him Scott anymore, because that's not even his name. I'm pretty sure his name's Will, even though he was called Car Crazy Scott. Dark, Mr. Wall, is doing very well. In fact, actually, yeah, he is doing very well. Despite all this lag, he has made it to the jumping spider. This is by far and away his best performance so far on the course, ever. Can he beat the jumping spider, though, as well? No, he can't! It looked like a good jump, but he didn't crouch, and it wasn't good enough. Our next competitor heading to the start line is another veteran, but unlike Resident Kong, this one has plenty of experience. The next competitor on the course is SACKESHI, who is today making his 12th appearance, having first made his debut all the way back in Tournament 5. Despite being one of the most experienced and most dedicated competitors of all time on this course, SACKESHI has had plenty of struggles on Stage 1. He failed it in all of his first 5 appearances on this course, but then on his 6th try in Tournament 11, he was finally able to complete the first stage and advance to the second stage. Sadly though, this was not the start of a winning streak that SACKESHI would have hoped for, because following his Tournament 11 success, he has failed Stage 1 once again 5 tournaments in a row, and in fact at one point he progressively got worse and worse on the course, falling earlier and earlier. But he managed to turn that round in his last 2 appearances, in Tournament 15 getting to the warped wall, and then in the last tournament he actually made it to the finish line, but sadly ran out of time and was unable to join the 22 competitors that did make it to the second stage. Nevertheless, with all of SACKESHI's experience, will that be enough to see him defeat this brand new course? Or will SACKESHI suffer yet another defeat on stage 1? I love to see SACKESHI compete, and it's amazing, just like with IronBug when he made his 10th appearance. Oh, bit of a false start there by SACKESHI, but he's off now. Yeah, I love seeing SACKESHI compete on the course, and it's great that this is his 12th appearance. But sadly, he has struggled quite a lot with stage 1. He's looking a bit cautious at the minute now, not going too fast, but he's onto the ball drop. The time limit looks lenient, he's got 83 seconds on the clock, but this course is long, and if you take too long at the beginning, then it can come back to haunt you when you get further into the course, He's onto the pole maze. This has claimed a lot of people so far, but it doesn't claim SACKESHI. Well, the floodgates have truly opened with competitors beating the pole maze now. What about the jumping spider? He's had troubles on the old jump hang. How will he fare on the jumping spider? He gets a good jump. Oh no, but it's not a good enough jump though, and he knew it as well. And for the 6th tournament in a row, SACKESHI goes out on stage 1. 2 competitors left now. Next up is Emerge Zebra 68, newcomer and another big fan of the show. And he almost forgot that he needs to sprint to get into the head slide there. That would have been pretty bad. That probably would have been the worst rope slider fail we've seen. But he remembered and he gets through it, so, he's not a scrub. How will he fare on the ball drop? As I say, big fan of the show, like a few of the other competitors that have competed in today's episode. But just because he's a big fan, will that lead to a good performance? No, it won't. He didn't even make it to the first drop, and he somehow managed to stop the ball. That's impressive. Last up to go today is AlexJ189, back for his 4th appearance. He is a Halo racer who used to compete on the Halo 4 racing leagues, and in the last tournament, he made it all the way to the reverse fly, finishing in 27th place. How will he fare today? No, he slowed down! Alex! Oh my goodness! Alex is out on the first obstacle! That is shocking! Alex has made it to at least the 4th obstacle in all of his 3 previous attempts, and as I say, he made it to the 6th obstacle in the last tournament. But if we look at it here, he cut off his sprint halfway down, and then he missed the landing platform by a mile. Oh, well, following that, with Alex's shocking early exit, we've come to the end of today's episode. The next 25 challengers took on the course, including the first of our returning veterans. But still, we have yet to see any Stage 1 successors. Although we did see new ground broken in this episode, this is the harsh reality. We are halfway through Stage 1, and out of the 50 challengers, only 1 competitor has made it past the 4th obstacle. Just 1 person out of 50 has made it more than halfway through Stage 1. But despite the best efforts of experienced challenger IronBugChampion, he was unable to defeat the Great Wall, the 6th obstacle, and was therefore unable to complete the first stage. Could we truly see all 100 competitors fail Stage 1 in this tournament? Or does someone amongst the next 25 have what it takes to be a hero and be the first competitor to complete this incredibly difficult first stage? We have more big fans of the show and a famous Halo YouTuber amongst the newcomers in the next episode, as well as one of the most experienced competitors of all time in this show's history. The question is, as I say, do any of them have what it takes to be the first ever competitor to complete Stage 1 on the Xbox One? I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and join us next time to find out how they do. Until then, I'm HuntUnit751, and we'll see you guys next time.